Hello everyone, and today I want to talk to you about WordPress and Squarespace and which platform you should be using for your artwork or your business. I was a user for WordPress for about 10 years, and I've just recently made the switch from WordPress to Squarespace. So I want to talk a little bit about why I made the transition and what made me leave WordPress after all these years. Okay, so as you can see on my screen here, I used to have the premium plan. This is for WordPress, and anyone can look this up. As you see on the premium, you get a free domain, email, 13 gigs of storage. I think the most important things for me here was, to remove WordPress ads. I can accept payments, subscriber only content, pay with PayPal. Those were probably the most important things to me. So it was pretty good that I could just pay $8 per month. I would pay for the whole year. And that was working for me for a really, really long time. So just to go back, because I said that I was using WordPress for 10 years, I started using WordPress back in maybe 2009, 2010. What I used to do was, originally I had a hosting site. I think it was called, totally forgot the name of what the hosting site was called. It wasn't that popular, but it was really affordable at the time. So I would host my site, and then I would download WordPress and put it on the hosting site. And that's how I managed my website for a few years. And then eventually, I saw the prices for WordPress, and I was like, oh, I can just get rid of the hosting site and just do everything through WordPress. And I probably did that maybe around 2012, 2014. I had done that actually probably around 2014. Yeah, probably around 2014, 15. I just moved everything to WordPress. I didn't have a hosting site. And so I was doing that for a while. But now recently, I had to switch because of one thing and one thing only. And when you go down here, you see how it says pay with PayPal? So here's a page sample of what that is supposed to look like. So, I have my information here, chat on WhatsApp, and here is a product that I want to sell. I want to sell prints. The problem was with that is, so you can see here, I've got the title, I've got the description, and I have the price, pay with PayPal. So it's linked to my PayPal. That was fine, no problem. One issue, so when you click on it, and it says upgrade because I've already taken all this stuff down. The problem is, this is all you have. There's nothing else. You can't do any kind of variance whatsoever. Even though on PayPal, you can go on PayPal and you can make a button and you can say in that button, hey, I need, I don't know, different shirt colors or different shirt sizes, blah, blah, blah. I could have different variants. I can't take that code and put it into WordPress. It won't accept it underneath the $8 plan. You have to then, the only way it's going to accept that code, because WordPress and Squarespace, if you use some of their cheaper plans, it actually blocks code out. I know one of the codes that gets blocked out is iframes. If there was a code that you could snip off from the internet somewhere and it was an iframe code, you couldn't take that code and just plop it into WordPress. It won't even accept it. You probably would have to go up to at least 25 a month to do that. Which to me, honestly, from 8 to 25, it just seems like a really big jump. If it was maybe 15, 16, even 18, I'd go for it. But to 25, and to be honest with you, these last couple of years, I really felt like WordPress has been trying very hard to convince people to get their very popular business plan, when in all honesty, I don't even need all of this stuff on the business plan. I don't need to, plugins, I don't even really need plugins, which, to be very fair, way back in the day, I don't even remember paying for plugins. I thought that was always free from WordPress from the longest time. And suddenly it's like pay $25 just to have plugins in. I'm like, I'm not paying that price, install themes, which you can do it, I believe, on the $8 plan, but I think it's only the free ones. So this one, it could be, I think it could be like some of the more premium content, but honestly, that was the thing that made me switch, not being able to do variants. Now, I can show you the page that I have now. So this is my current page from Squarespace. And if we go here, so actually I'll back up a little bit further. If I just wanted one price, let's say this artwork, $70, this would work perfectly fine in this format. This wouldn't be a problem because it's just one price. However, I bought recently a Canon Image Graph 2100. It's a 24-inch printer, and I knew I was going to need different print sizes and paper adjustments. So let's go back. Oop, wrong page. So here's some of my digital prints. What I needed from WordPress was I needed to be able to say different sizes, and then I need people to select what kind of paper they want. And that way it can change the price. That one little thing has just made me jump from WordPress to Squarespace. Now, don't get me wrong, I am paying for their business plan, which is $18 a month, but $18 is a whole lot cheaper than $25. Oops. Yeah, $18 is a whole lot cheaper than $25. So it's, which one do I recommend? Well, I like WordPress. If you can do whatever it is that you need to do for $8 a month, and there's actually a cheaper one. I mean, there's a $4 one. And for a while I was on this plan too, because I wasn't selling anything. But $25 just seems like a lot, just so that you can finally do, plugins and a little bit of SEO and some extra themes, and to remove the WordPress branding, and I guess do a little bit more with PayPal. It still says the same thing, but I'm pretty sure at $25, that's when you can start doing the drop down menus. It just seems a little too much to be spending $25 when I could be spending $18 a month and get this one little thing that I needed. So which one is right for you? One, you'd have to consider the e-commerce side of it. If you just need a website, honestly, I would still use WordPress. I think my only other comment to WordPress is if you're not good with going in the back end and coding, by coding I just mean like HTML, CSS, you're going to struggle with WordPress a lot. It's not their newest update to do blocks is really good, I think. It does make editing a lot easier. And actually I can show you the whole block thing. Let me probably go back to a different page. Let's see, let's go to I guess prints. Their whole block system is pretty good, and I do like it. It's a bit of a learning curve, but it is a lot easier than before. So their new GUI system, I think it's so far one of the best ones that they've had in a long time, because one thing that a lot of people have never liked about WordPress is it just added all kinds of crazy codes in there, and sometimes it's not exactly what you wanted, and sometimes you'd have to go into the HTML and it could just be a whole pain in the butt, especially if you're not very good at that or you don't know how to do those things. I think the one thing that I don't like are, let's try and add a block. Let's add a button. So here's button, here's, call me button. You can change it here. I think the weird thing is about a button is you can't justify it. I mean, now it's, centered, but if I wanted the text to be flushed to the left or to the right or to the center, there's no options for that, which is unusual to me. It's like, okay, well, let's see. Have they changed that? No. Yeah, see, there's no option to center your button or to center even the button itself. If you wanted this button right over here, all the way on this side, well, where's the option for it? It seems maybe you can drag it. No, I don't even know how. Yeah, this is just to move it around, I think. It's a little... Oh, there we go. I think they just recently added this because they didn't have it a few months ago, which was hilarious to me. I was like, how come you can't move the button wherever you want it? So they've just recently put that in there. I know that because I was messing around with it and couldn't figure out how to move the button. But even then, if you want to change the text and justify that and put that wherever, I couldn't figure that out. I couldn't figure out how to change, the text alignment. Whereas with Squarespace, I will say when it comes to editing, there's so much that you can edit. I won't go into my pages because things are looking pretty good as is. But and I like the whole minimal look. You obviously don't have to go this route, but just adding things and changing them, I feel like it's a little bit better on Squarespace. I feel like it's more user-friendly, whereas with WordPress, a lot of people get frustrated. It's also really hard to find information about WordPress. Like if you want to do something specifically, you could be searching the internet all day long. Whereas with Squarespace, I can type it up and no problem. I find that information quickly. So if I were to have a negative for WordPress, it would be the editing can be a pain, especially if you're not good with HTML or CSS. And the PayPal button. I mean, that's fine if you just sell one kind of product. Like if all I ever did were just paintings, if all I had were canvases and there weren't going to be any prints, I'd go right back to the $8 one. Like instantly, I would go back. But because I have a printer and because I want other options, I need that. I need, to be able to say, hey, what size do you want this in? Hey, what material do you want this in? Okay, here's your price. And that was a really big deal for me. If you don't need that, you can just jump to WordPress. Like I said, you might have a little bit hard time editing, but I do think it's one of the better options and one of the cheaper options that you can do. But if you need something like a drop-down menu, I would just say hop on Squarespace. If you're not very good with editing, if you just need to click and drag things, and I can probably show you what the editing panel looks like. Let's go to my dashboard real quick. You can see there's a lot to change. From fonts to colors, you can change your color palette. From animation spacing, buttons, I mean the whole thing. Even what happens if you get like a 404 page, you can change it. And every page that you go to, like let's say a shop, it's all easy stuff to edit out. It's not complicated. It was a tad bit of a learning curve for me, but it wasn't that difficult. Once you get into it and you can figure out things, it's smooth sailing. I would definitely highly recommend Squarespace if you just want to click and drag and edit things and customize it to your liking. But that's all. I just wanted to say, why I was moving from WordPress to Squarespace. What's the difference? Because everyone says, Squarespace. And it's not that I don't agree with that, but I think you need to know what you're going to do with it. If you just need a standard website, I personally say WordPress because it's cheaper. And there's a lot you can do off of that, $4 and $8 plan. But if the moment you need to start selling things and selling things in different variants, that's when I would start to recommend Squarespace. So I hope this video was very useful to you. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I can answer them in the comments. Please follow the channel, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.